What it do, what it do, what it do? Welcome to the first episode of the Doughboy'z playlist titled Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. It's your boy Bert. The purpose of this podcast is me bringing you 5 songs a week, letting you know the backgrounds of the song, how I feel about the songs, and the people who actually brought me to the songs. And it's pretty much just me talking my shit about these classics that I grew up on and the meanings that they have to me. The number one song of the day will be PSA by Jay-Z. First time I heard this song, I was in school and I heard the beat first. And that beat was so fucking monumental to me, dog. Well, just like just hearing that monotone, that doom 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 doom. That shit was so real. As soon as I heard that beat, before Hov even got on to it, that shit was so strong. And that motherfucker came on that shit and just allowed me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hov. And that beat dropped. And that shit was stuck in me till that day. I think Jigga My Nigga was Hov's best song to me. Nobody couldn't tell me shit about that song. But when I heard PSA, that shit jumped to the top. That's why every time I did something that was important that day, PSA was gonna play. That shit was going to play. Whatever in that day, that shit was gonna play. Hov always been a consistent artist to me. Like, every time this man drops something, it's like consistent heat. Even if songs don't hit when he drop them, but you grew to like them shits. Like some tracks off of I want to say American Gangster, the soundtrack. Some of them tracks on there, I didn't fuck with at first, but as I got older, I start to feel more of them shit, because I start to understand more of the lifestyle and where he was coming from with it. So the shit was like, I'm like, okay, shit, that shit real. He spitting some shit. And he always been a consistent rapper to me. That's why I fuck with Hov till this day, because everything he spit is some fire. And I see why some people call him the GOAT. Me personally, I always say one of the greats. I never use GOAT unless I'm talking about Wayne. That's another story. When I use the word GOAT when it comes to the hip hop game, I say Wayne. Some people, it's opinionated. That GOAT conversation, that's a story for another time. But me personally, when it comes to the GOAT, that's Wayne in my book. But okay, number song. The number 2 song of the day, bro, would be T.I. I'm Back. T.I. I'm Back. This is when T.I. first got out of jail for the gun charges that came to him in 2008 before the Hip Hop Awards. And when he got released from that and he dropped I'm Back, I remember me watching that's when they used to do the trailers for videos. And T.I. did the trailer of him pulling up to a garage, going to the trunk, taking out the black diamonds, the black diamond chains and all that shit. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Cause that's when I saw T.I. pull up to that shit, got me a black rosary. That's when that rosary game was at then. If you ain't had a rosary shit, boy, you wasn't shit then. Yes, I went to go snatch me up a rosary, black diamond rosary at that, shine like a motherfucker. But yeah, I got that, and then that track, I heard that snippet of that track. And that motherfucker went so hard on that track. It almost like he spent a whole year and a day writing that one track. Dog. And that shit, and the video was like so simple. and to tell all these haters I'm back. Like, woo! And then he was just random fire. Blah, 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 blah. And that shit, dog. And I see why he gave himself the name the King of the South. But me being from the South, Charleston, South Carolina, to be exact, shout out to my city, 843 Geechee Living. What's happening, baby? You know, we out ya. New podcast coming live from the soil. Now me, Geechee boy, till I leave this bitch, you dig? But back to what I was saying. Yeah, when he dropped that, I'm like, this is a whole different type of lyricism coming from the South. Because he dropped this in 2008 when everything was a fucking dance coming from the South. This was the snap movement. You weren't going to no club and not dancing. The hardest motherfuckers was dancing in 2008. Big t-shirts, forces, and a big ass New Era hat. That's what you were wearing in 2008 in the South. That shit was happening. If your ass wasn't from Atlanta, you was in another state wearing the 8-town hat, cocked that bitch to the side like Tip. That was you. That was the lingo. That was what you was doing. Everybody was saying shouting. Everybody was doing this in 2008. I didn't give a fuck what you said. I was here. I witnessed the motherfucker. Yeah, man. That song, they was so goddamn crazy. And it was big, but it didn't hit commercial. It didn't hit that commercial success as it should. I don't know why, but it didn't. But that track was a big T.I. track for me. T.I. has a lot of big tracks, dog, but that track right there stood out as one of the ones, dog, that made him one of the Southern greats for me. Now, me personally, I'm a UGK alumni, and you can't say nothing bad about UGK to me. But you know that T.I. studied under UGK, because when he spit that I'm back verse, that reminds me of that Pimp C verse from Murder on that Riding Dirty album. I think that was Riding Dirty. I think so. When Pimp got on that bitch, as soon as that bitch, murder, and Pimp C got on that bitch, it's Pimp C, bitch. So what the fuck is up? Spitting powder on the beat like a big fucking nut. Yeah, man. And that's how T.I. ripped that bitch, dog. So I'm like, God damn, dog. Like, and so that song stood out to me, dog. That's another one of them hits, dog. The third track. The third track has to be Lil Boosie, Pussy Ass Nigga. That song was crazy. It was a crazy ass experience to that song, dog. So Lil Boosie was still on the so-called rise. Everybody know from Lil Boosie from the For My Thugs, cause he had a track that was circling the streets of Charleston that I called my bitch and talked to my bitch, so I slaughtered my bitch, nigga. That was the night. But damn, Pimp C put them on officially with that Ghetto Stories. And I remember my stepbrothers, Dante, Dez, and it was one of their homeboys. I can't remember who the fuck it was, though. But all of them balling outside and be going back in my house to get something to drink. And them boy put the shit in. And the first song they play was Do It Big. They be like, well, this gonna be B. This gonna be B track right here. And then Dante looked at me. That nigga looked at me. He said, "No, see B like his old man." And that nigga be telling niggas about himself, about theyself. That nigga said, this B track right here. And I hear that motherfucker, dum 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 dum, pussy ass nigga. I like, okay, this nigga. I like, as soon as I hear that, like, at first I'm like, okay, who the hell is this nigga talking to? I know he ain't talking about me. But that nigga said, no, nigga, this how you be talking to them niggas, dog, who be on that disrespectful shit. I'm like, alright, right on, glad you clarified that, my nigga. But that nigga Boosie hop on that track, dog, that shit was so fucking real, dog. That nigga said, niggas still won't see me dead cause I done made a little deal. Still a hater for real, so I stay with my steel. You play with this here, nigga, you gon' learn something. Piss on his body while he dead, then I burn something. And you can find me 9 deep across the track. In that all black monocolor, what you know about that? When I said when I first hit that line, when I first hit that line, dog, that shit there, I was like, oh shit, this nigga done find something for me. He done find something for me. Cause at that time, during that time, I've been staying with my mama and my old man, and I gotta walk across the. I had to walk across the train track to get to the old man house. So when that nigga said you could find me 9 deep across the track, and I had love on both sides, nigga. One side of the hood was the wheeling, other side was 8 Mile. We ain't really had no beef earlier at that time. Ain't been no animosity that I know of. But that wheeling, shit, you never know. You never know. But cause I used to walk across that track damn near every day. Even when I gotta go to school, if I stay on the wheel on one night, I gotta walk across the track to get to school. If I stay at the old man house, I gotta walk across the track to get on the old lady house. But nigga, when I heard say that Boosie song, dog, and nigga, that was the only song I used to play off that album constantly till I learned every word of that damn song. Took me about 3 days. 3 days. And I had all them boys surprised because we on the court balling. That's what we used to do. Stay at school, go home, do half of the homework. Never did the whole homework. Nigga, we do half of that bitch. After we finish balling, take our ass through the rest, we in there. But when I hear that whole song, when that nigga say, nigga, this that Jason and that Freddy shit. Well, here go the sequel. I'm like, ooh, ooh. I ain't know who the fuck pissed Boosie off at that time. But nigga, that nigga put his heart and his soul in that record, boy. And it's a lot of classics on that Ghetto Stories album, which actually turned into a movie in the later date. It's a lot of fucking classics on that album, dog. That shit there, that shit put Boosie and Webby on that route to success. That album, that hood success. Cause that shit had, if you been knowing that shit like how you supposed to been, if you had love for that For My Thugs, you will have even more love for that Ghetto Stories, dog. Cause that shit start off with that hurt. That shit start off with that Like a Bird. After Like a Bird been do a big. Then that shit, I think number 4, but I had a dream. Number 4, but I had a dream. I know for damn sure number 6 was Pussy Ass Nigga. So number 7 was I Need You. That been that one. That been another sleeper. That shit, I still don't know who the hell I've been singing on that bitch, dog. That shit remind me of some fucking some old school Willie Hutch type shit. Like a dolphin needs his stove. I was like, oh shit. That been a cool ass song there, bro. Then that shit end off with the bonus tour. Now that shit had what is shit called? Off the porch. That shit had so much goddamn classics on it, dog. But that shit pushed them boys into a whole fucking lane, dog. Them niggas might have toured for their whole goddamn teenage years just off Ghetto Stories, dog. But that bonus track, oh, that I Know You Strapped. But I ain't even boosted them song. Boosie and Webb ain't even knowing that bitch. That been Pimp C. He already had released that song. Yeah, that bitch came back on a smoother fucking UGK type beat on that bitch. Put the guitar on that bitch. that. I know you strapped, but your cowards like to play hard. Not knowing that you don't wanna take a murder charge. I'm like, bruh. I have another track on there, but that's another. I could say that for another list. But that track there, boy, that's my that's my that's my side piece right there. So we gonna come back to that. But yeah, man, that pussy ass nigga, dog. That was a life changing song for me, dog. Cause that put me on a Boosie, and since when I heard that song, I've been fucking with Boosie ever since. Ever since that song. What else? That's yeah, that's three songs. So the fourth song would be Two of America's Most Wanted, which y'all know by as Gangsta Party by Tupac and Snoop. So if you know me, you know that Snoop Dogg is my all-time favorite rapper. I can give a fuck what you say, nigga. Laugh, hee hee ha ha, nigga. But Snoop Dogg is responsible for most of you motherfuckers considered goats out here. Motherfuckers want to be Snoop. I can give a fuck what you say. Snoop is responsible for Pac's career at Death Row, which turned Pac into a mega fucking superstar, which fucked around and led to his ultimate demise, which was fucked up. But that when Snoop was responsible for the beats behind some of the most monumental tracks ever. Because Snoop was behind Daz, Corrupt, and the most number one hit hook maker in the hip hop game. God bless Nate Dogg. And people don't give Snoop a lot of credit for that. Snoop put Nate Dogg on, and this man Nate Dogg took his talent and blessed the hip hop game with legendary tracks. Legendary tracks. Every song that Nate hopped on, including his own, is a legendary track. All praise, all love go to Nate Dogg, bro. So, Two of America's Most Wanted, Gangsta Party. Story behind that song is me and my uncle just finished watching Juice. I think Pac was already gone. Pac was already gone. But I've known the music, but I'm still a young buck. Mind you, Juice came out, I think Juice probably came out, 93, 94? I had to fact check that. But we just finished watching Juice, and my uncle put in that goddamn, that All Eyes on Me tape. Now, between my pops and my uncle, you can't tell them niggas no wrong about Tupac. No wrong about Tupac. So the first time my uncle played, he played Life Goes On. My uncle, he more of a slow jam type shit. So when that Life Goes On, he played that. I'm like, I'm fucking with it, but it's too slow. I'm young, and I'm young and energetic. It's too slow, so I ain't understood that song at that time. But when he played that, when I first hear that, ain't nothing but a gangster party. Oh shit. When I hear Pac say, oh shit. And my uncle look at me, he was like, that when they had the big ass radio at that time. Big ass black boombox. With the big ass two speakers on the side. And he see me bumping my head. He said, oh, you like that, eh? You like that, eh? I remember that shit. So we in the room, sitting by the window. And he play that. And I hear Pac hop on that thing. Picture perfect. I painted a perfect picture. I'm like, woo. Now I'm nodding. I'm nodding hard. I'm like, there's Snoop getting that bitch. See, nigga, Brina, I got a house on the hill right next to Chino. Mind you, I ain't know the words at that time. So I'm just nodding my head and listening to it. So we get through the whole song, And I keep telling him, go back to that song. Go back to that song. He said, no, I ain't. So he started making me mad with it. Like, no, I ain't going back to that song. So every time he said he going back to the song, he'll play a different song. So that's how I start to learn more and more about the album. Because he said he going back to Gangsta Party, but he going to a different song. So that's how I know about my ambitions as a rider, all eyes on me. And because that ambition as a rider, Snoop don't get a lot of recognition for that song either. Because Daz made that beat. Daz made that beat when Pac came to Death Row when he got out of jail, and he had that beat playing. And Pac happened to hear that bitch and hopped on that bitch and murdered that bitch. And that beat so fucking hard, dog. As I got older, listening to Gangsta Party, I started to learn the words to that bit. And it had to been, shit, had to be 2 months, 2 or 3 months. And I finally had that whole song down packed that I could say back to back without even listening to the track. And when that nigga Pac said, this is still my hardest Tupac line for me, and I always compare it to that one he said, hit him up too. But in this song particularly, he said, they wonder how I live with 5 shots. Niggas is hard to kill on my block. I'm like, woo. And Pac don't get the respect as a lyrical MC as much as Biggie did, because Biggie had that wordplay. But Pac could have put 2 and 2 together on the motherfucker, boy. Because when I hit him up, that nigga said, now it was all about Versace. You copied my style. 5 shots could have dropped me. I took it and smiled. Woo. Woo. Come on, man. Come on, man. Respect and love the Pac. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But Snoop on that record, dog. It's like at that time, it was like if I can compare it from that time to now, it's like Drake and Wayne on the track. That's how I feel how that was. That was like Drake and Wayne. Snoop was Wayne, and Pac was Drake. That's kind of fucked up to say. Well, no, not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. That's pretty much fucking accurate now I think about it. Pretty much fucking accurate. That's like Drake and Wayne. Cause Snoop went and found Pac. He ain't went and found him. He knew who the fuck Pac was. And he brought Pac to his camp, knowing that they can blow up on the east with Pac, cause Pac had that crossover shit. So when them two got on the track together, dog, that shit was always it was fire. That's why you know that was real right there. That was real. Yeah, man, that Gangsta Party, dog. That was another one of them tracks, dog. That like got me turned on to that music shit, dog. Cause after that shit, I started listening to lyrics. And then, like I said, I'm living in '90s Charleston, South Carolina. Like, we don't have a sound. We didn't have a sound in that city at that time. So everything we listened to was from every other goddamn state. You know what I'm saying? Every other state we got in Charleston. So you might go to your cousin's house. He got goddamn 8-Ball MJG playing. You go to your mama house. She got goddamn Curtis Blow playing. All when because mom was talking to old head at that time. That nigga there, he like goddamn Public Enemy. You can't tell him shit about Public Enemy. He playing Public Enemy all goddamn day. I don't know why, but I mean, Public Enemy that shit, dog. But I can't listen to no goddamn radical shit all goddamn day. But then I go to my pop's house. Pop's got Everybody playing. Pop's got a fucking CD collection out this world. So he's the one that I blame for my love for music. Every time Pops bring me, I go to Pop's house. Pop's got a whole fucking entertainment stand full of CDs because him and his lady is music heads. So they got CDs for fucking days. So even if I go to Pop's house for a weekend when they used to stay downtown or some shit like that, I'm just in that bit listening to different CDs, and I'm like, so I'm always being introduced to different artists at an early age because everywhere I go, somebody's introducing me to either a new song or a new artist. Yeah. So yeah, that's the fourth song, and that's also my favorite. Like I think I said that my favorite Tupac song is "Gangsta Party," and that's hard. That's hard because I always choose between "Gangsta Party" and "Brenda's Got a Baby." Yeah, 'cause that "Brenda's Got a Baby" dog. That's pretty much Pac's version of Juicy, even though that came out first. But Biggie's Juicy and Brenda's Got a Baby. That shit's like neck and neck to me. Cause the wordplay and the message in the song is like it's growing pains. Cause like Pac said in the interview that he wrote that song based on a story that he saw in the newspaper that made made a headline, and every week that story got smaller, smaller, smaller until that shit disappeared. So it was about a life, not particularly his life, about the life of a young lady who went through some shit and people just eventually forgot about her. So Pac brought her name back to the light by making that song and made her fucking legendary. You know what I mean? So that's some dope shit. That's some dope shit. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, that's the fourth song, man. Two of America's Most Wanted. And the fifth song will be, hmm, the fifth song would be Days of Our Lives by Bone Thugs. The sample of that song was, I want to, Tender Love. Here I be all alone. That Crush Groove. That Crush Groove vibe. That's the sample of that song at the beginning. Everybody over there always acts like, damn, where that came from. I'm like, yeah, that's that Tender Love, that Crush Groove vibe. And the way how they hopped on that shit so smooth, right? Wasteland Soldier. And that's my favorite Bone Dog song till this day. And I first heard that song. There's always a story behind these songs. That's why I'm gonna love this podcast. First time I heard this song is when my aunt, shout out Aunt Tammy on Pain, when they took me to the movies as a young buck to go see Set It Off. They took me, it was a movie theater in the Citadel Mall. Brown building, red letters. That's the old one. Before that new letter thing they got out there. And they took me because I remember they argued with my grandmama. I think it might have been on time because they did not want my ass to go because they ain't not want to pay for me. At least I don't think that's what I think, you dig? But I ended up going to the movie to go see Set It Off. And then we're going to go see Set It Off twice, if I'm mistaken. One with Aunt or Tammy, and one with Mom's done. And they took me to go see that movie. And I think they were on the roof smoking, and I heard that beat come on. Doom, 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 fading off. Then you hear Crazy hop on that bit. Wasteland soldier, these are the days of our lives. I'm like, what fucking song is this? What is this? And at that time, we ain't had no computer. You could just look up some shit and find the song. You had to wait and wait and wait till you heard that song again. And at that time, our radio stations weren't playing those musics like that at that time. So I can't even remember when I discovered that song again, bro. That's how long ago it was. But I remember we got the tape. We finally got the Set It Off tape, VHS tape. That's how long this is. 90s, big. No DVD. You had VHS tape. You dig? And me being the smart little nigga, cause I was very, I'm gonna make up a word like Nori, make up discoveratory type nigga, you dig? And I know that at the end of every movie, the credits, they show the music at the end of that bit. So I'm looking for, I know who the artist was because I know I know about the Crossroads. So I looking for Bone Thugs, and I look at Bone Thugs, and I look for the title, and it says Days of Our Lives. I'm like, so ain't no other Bone Thugs song in the movie, so that gotta be the song. So me being the low adventurous nigga that I am, I wrote that shit down in crayon. Cause I've been at my pop's house watching that movie again on tape. And I wrote that shit down in crayon. Cause my little brother, he had the little big ass little toy chest, and he had a little desk. And I put that shit in my pocket, dog. And when I got back to mom's house, I put that shit in my in a book. Matter of fact, a Bible, a children's Bible. And the crazy thing about it is, dog, I heard that song the next time, and it was on. I want to say Video Soul. That when they shot the video when they been like in the little trap house type thing. But it was going off. It was going off, and they're playing clips from the movie. And I was like, damn, that's the song, I miss it. But then as I started to go older, and me and my brother, this when the first Xbox came out. Yeah, that big ass Xbox, dog, and my brother, Easy, what's up, babe? And that nigga, we been playing NBA Live 2003. That was the next time I stumbled upon that song again. I always knew the song because I would hum the shit. That's how in love I was with the song, where I would hum the shit, but never knew the words because I couldn't find the damn song. And this nigga came there with the motherfucking Bone Thugs mix CD. That was that mix CD era. Burn CD. Go to the barbershop and you get a CD, bunch of songs on that motherfucker. 15 to be exact. That was early mixtape before the MP3 CD. 15 songs on that motherfucker. And my brother, he just hopped on that wave with that smoking weed there. So that nigga been smoking heavy. And that nigga, so he played that Weed Man by Bone Thugs. So I'm like, bro, I ain't never hear this Bone Thugs song, yeah. And he wanted me to hear that one part. The house was so hot, couldn't stand the heat. I'm dancing with my people, I've been trying to see. They bumping my jam, this is who I see. Come in to hype the party with some Indo treats. We got Busy Bone, Crazy, Lazy with some fresh thugs and harmony. Bruh, I like, okay, that nigga done turned me on to another song. Boom, boom, boom. So right after I turned that song, getting ready to replay that song, Days of Our Lives come on next. I'm like, this nigga here. I said, stop everything. Let this song play at least 2 times. And I let that shit play, dog, and that shit put me in a trance. Every time I play that song, bro, that shit put me in a trance. And that shit so like, it's just like a fucking, yeah, but it's like a hood nigga spot when that song played, dog. Some shit for a hood nigga to do yoga to. Some shit for a hood nigga to clean his gun to. You dig? That shit just puts you in a whole different level, dog. Just that beat and how them niggas on that beat just killing that track. All them boys on point with that beat. Nobody going too high, too low. Busy coming with the right harmony. Crazy coming with the right harmony. Even Wish coming, because Wish voice was kind of deeper than the rest of them. So his voice coming and that bitch match equally with them boys shit. Cause you know, Busy coming out. Everybody. You know, that high pitch, and that's all that shit just level out. And bruh, that song, that Bone Dog song, dog, that's historic for me. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But those are the 5 songs I'm gonna start with, dog. And pretty much the gist of this podcast, dog, is just to bring a couple of you people out there. Cause right now it's twos and fews. Like I got a feeling this motherfucker go gain some traction, you dig? Cause it's about time some real people start to speak up, you dig? And talk about some music. And some people who really for the culture, you dig? And I'm getting tired of seeing these nerds who claim they know about music but only want to hear about the drama side, don't want to hear about the art. You know what I mean? So I want to be one of the ones to spearhead this movement. So we will bring some real music heads to these episodes, and talk some shit. And we gonna talk some real shit about this music game, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So this is the first episode titled "Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself Again." My name is Bert, known as Booney in Charleston, known as B in Florida, bro. But Booney internationally known. Y'all have a nice one. Everyday grind, everyday hustle. Love.